Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 6, extra spoiler news. It is Saturday. Great episode. We're going to get into some of the specifics. As you guys know, we did the spoiler stream Thursday night. We're going to compare the spoilers that were out there to the people that actually watched it. I just want to thank all of you guys, feeling much, much better. Quick shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you for everything that you guys do. And a quick question for the Army and each and every one of you that tuned in today. How many people are here for the spoilers, and how many people are here just to give me a scale of a 1 to a 10 to sound, how nasally do I sound compared to the other day? Because I have to tell you, it was a struggle Thursday night. I think from a scale of 1 to nasally, I was Jim Neighbors. It was up there, like really, really high end. But I'm back, ready to get through this stream and feeling much, much better. So thank you. Appreciate each and every one of you being here. I've got about 12 pages full of notes. This was I initially gave it an 8. I wanted to hold back a little bit. I do have to tell you, I've upped my score a little bit. I'm not comfortable giving it a 10. I'm still not giving it a 10. I know many of you will. I'm gonna go solid 9 on this one. I don't think it's quite as good as the previous two, but it's still pretty good, and some great subplots going on in the background. So let me start by asking you guys, go ahead, give me your score. What do you guys think, the people that have actually watched the episode, 1 to a 10? I'm not going to do it, even if you guys give me some great comments today. I'm still thinking it's a 9. Steph says, nope, not quite a 10. It was good, though. Let's get all misconceptions out there. It was great. Well, not great. Good. See, you guys are working on me already. You're making me raise my score up a little bit higher. There were a few things that it kind of seemed filler-ish along the way. But let me give a quick follow-up question before we get into the breakdown and the spoiler news. How many people thought the spoiler stream we did Thursday night was close, that you were visualizing it happen and it played out that way? Or when you saw a couple scenes actually happen, the spoilers didn't quite do it justice? I would say there's 1 or 2 scenes, especially at the end. I don't think the spoiler forum quite built it up as good as I liked the end. The end was pleasantly surprising to me. I thought it was just going to kind of be Negan bowing down, but I like the entrance to that. Get a few of your thoughts in this video. All right, you guys ready to kick this thing off? Let's go through it. We'll go through as much as we can, as quick as we can. So we start out with more of the Carol has a plan, and it's typical in a lot of these shows. It's 1 or 2 people, and they don't want to trouble everybody else or bring the burden of everybody else. Now, we've speculated, what if Negan and Aaron have a plan? It seems shady when Negan and Aaron have a plan, but it doesn't seem quite so shady if it's Carol and Daryl. Carol's kind of going out doing her own thing. Daryl's been watching her. Like, Daryl's kind of full sneaky mode, goes through her purse, watching to see what time she leaves, and already has a beat on it. He's kind of like, hey, where are you going? What are you doing? Well, I just want to go scope around, see if we can find Negan. Hey, mind if I tag along? So Daryl's already like, what's she going to say? No, I don't need any extra help. So Daryl's playing her to a degree. Like, Carol's playing Daryl, but Daryl's playing Carol at the same time. So mind if I tag along? It does not even go 3 minutes into the opening of the show before Daryl kind of, pins her down and asks the question like, I know you got a plan here. Negan's not dumb enough just to walk by, and you're not dumb enough to kind of stand out here. And she's like, thank you. And then I think there's 3 times we go back and forth on that, where Daryl's like, what are we really out here for? I told you, we're out here to look for Negan. Come on now. What are we really out here? I told you. And then after like the 3rd time, she's like, okay, here's what's really going on. But here's the thing. They're so, we're in the midst of a season that is all about paranoia and trust. And Carol has these layers of lying. And she tells Daryl a lie, then a little bit of the truth, then a little bit more of the truth, then finally the whole truth. It's like, if Carol can't be completely honest with Daryl, of all people, lies to him 3 different occasions. But I liked it. Honestly, that's the human nature side that I'm really liking about this season, is that it's just not straightforward. It's not, this is what a real person would probably do, to be honest with you. And maybe not in this situation, maybe not in a life or death situation, but I'm going to ask you guys real quick. How many people have told a white lie and then added a little bit more to the white lie and didn't really come to the complete truth until you had no other choice? Just a quick show of hands, if you're comfortable doing that. I'm pretty sure almost everybody has been in a Carol situation before. So you can relate to what Carol's doing. Maybe not in this situation, but in a situation. So very, very real writing. I absolutely loved it. But it also shows the depth of Daryl's character. That Daryl is kind of, he's onto it. More to come with that shortly. But Carol does say her plan at this moment, okay, Daryl, I'm going to find Alpha's Horde. We're going to find it and destroy it. That's it. That is the full plan of what she's going to do. Not what she's really going to do. But at that moment in time, it's what we get. Then we fast forward, next scene. Dante. How many people liked the Dante vibe here? He's flirting with Cheryl early on. You know, Dante is he's a medical version of Negan. Do you guys see the similarities between Dante and Negan? Scares me a little bit that, look, when I'm going to draw another parallel. We knew Abraham was toast when Negan started getting some of his thunder. Well, we knew it for different reasons as well. But you always have to have, I think a lot of times we say we have to have a doctor on the show. I think we got to have some comic relief on the show. So Negan took a little bit of Abraham, and now it appears as if Dante is stealing a little bit of Negan, which I'm not saying Negan's on his way out. I'm just saying just kind of keep it in mind that we've got a doctor with a creepy sense of humor. So Dante does say the heart wants what it wants. Some of that is his true character. It's a fake confidence. I think I'm not trying to overanalyze. Well, I guess I am. Dante, to me, seems like he has an inferiority complex where he needs to blow up his ego to get people to think that's who he really is. And I think deep down inside, he holds a lot back. And if he can make people laugh or distract them with that personality, he's accomplished the attention. He doesn't seem to want the attention, so he throws it out there that he wants the attention to turn people off. I think he's intentionally turning people off by being overbearing. Then we get Siddiq and Dante telling people, I thought this was a key line here, keep them hydrated is a key word there. If we're keeping them hydrated, hopefully they are checking the water. It's ironic to me that the thing that they might be doing the most could be the thing that continues to poison them. I expect the water to be a big story. But they did establish Dante as the flirt. There is no denying that is it's a conscious effort by the writers to put that light on him. We go back to Carol and Daryl. Carol and Daryl staking out the need a big place. Then they come up with the plan. I thought this was I thought it was important, but I'm just being a little bit critical here. I'm going to give you the small things for me that kept it from being a 10. And each one of these occurrences are like a 1/10 of a point each. I initially said an 8. I moved it up to a 9. So one of the things that I thought took it down from a 10 to a 9.9 and a 9.9 to a 9.8, etc. And like I said, I'm going to nitpick it a little bit, is when they overtell the story. So I thought the Carol and Daryl, they overtold the story by Daryl specifically saying, all right, if we get separated, we're going to meet, and we're going to meet back here. Don't leave any tracks. Don't kill any walkers. Don't leave any evidence. We're going to it's going to be a bigger problem for big people. Yeah, it's going to be a bigger problem for everybody in the communities. So basically what they did by overdoing the dialogue is they told us everything that was going to happen. And they didn't just let Carol be Carol and Daryl be Daryl. They kind of predicted it. So we already know that they're going to be separated. We already know they're going to be forced to kill. We already know there's a bigger picture because he said those are the things that we're not going to do. Like I said, minor things here, but they were spelled out, and I think it challenges the intellect of the audience a little bit. Did not like that minor dings on that, but I digress. Negan, we go forward, we get the Negan captured. Negan is... We don't get to see whether there was ever a fight between Negan and Beta, a struggle. We just assume that he was taken down. We see Negan, he's like, all right, let's do it. And then they didn't do anything. So Negan, some of his classic lines here, honestly, fellows or ladies, hard to tell under the outfit. We get a lot of the jokes about the Whispers. Are they going commando? Are they wearing anything? How do they? All of the typical Negan stuff that you see. Beta, noise, constant noise. He makes it a point after Negan says, I want to join, I'm a joiner. Beta's just like, shut it down, shut up. Negan, I'm Negan. For 8 years, I was locked up by your enemy. Take me to your leader, and I'll spill every secret I know. Beta sees that as a value add, but takes the blindfold, puts it down over his mouth. So I want to ask you guys, do you feel like that's a story going forward? That Negan is playing Beta. If you think you want to kill me, wait until I tell you all the stuff that I know. Now, Negan can intentionally tell them lies, very much like Carol is leading them along. I don't think Negan's going to go in there and play every card that he has. I think that Negan is going to give them a little bit of, he's going to mislead them a little bit, going to give them a little bit of an okey doke. Once they trust him, his lies become their truths. And I'm going to ask the group here, what are some lies that Negan could tell Alpha to slow down the assault? If Negan gets full trust, just put a couple comments in here, because I'm not going to go full bold prediction because this is a spoiler stream. We're talking about this week's episode. If you guys are just logging in, obviously we put it in the title, but I do want to remind everybody we are covering this week's episode. So everything here, complete, it happened. So here's one just for you guys to think about. Could say they killed Lydia. Could, but that would play her hand a little bit quicker. So I don't know if that's a valid lie. He may not even bring up Lydia. He may listen to see, how they feel about that. But how about, hey, they got boats, they have guns, they have ammunition. You might not want to full scale go in and attack them so I think Negan could come up with a way to slow down the assault. That's important. So there was also something else that Negan said later on that I thought was a key way he was manipulating Beta. And it's when Beta kneeled. When Beta kneeled to Alpha and Negan was back with Beta, Negan says, I get it. He gave him a whole speech on the whole kneeling thing, and he says, I've never personally done it myself. Now, when you hear him say that, in Beta's mind, it's a line that Negan will never cross. So at the very end, when Negan does kneel, it has to make Beta stop and think like, okay, we've broken this guy. He's on board with us. There were a few little tidbits of that conversation, and I think Negan, how many people would agree, all the Whispers, Alpha, Beta, Negan might be the smartest man in that whole operation. Alpha seems a little bit blinded by Lydia, a little bit blinded by her strategy, but I think when Negan is fully anointed, he knows that he can get his ideas amongst the Whispers. He senses a little bit of that weakness. All right. Couple Eugene lines. Eugene and Nabila. He invites her up. We see how lonely Eugene is. He invites Nabila to hang out with him. Hey, and check this radio. He says, well, you haven't lived until you bounce a transmission off the ionosphere. So sorry, a little bit nasally Eugene today, but that's the best I can do. So he's certainly going full geek talk. Thank you so much, Gushy Gushy. Appreciate that. Super sticker. Really quickly, I'll give you guys a 10-second commercial interruption. I know many of you guys do watch the ads, but that's a brand new feature on our live streams for YouTube. Not only can you super chat, now there's a feature called Super Stickers. So if you want to say hello and you don't know exactly what to say or the custom emoji, then there's a whole slate of, I don't know, maybe 100 different thoughts that you can get in the video. But thank you so much. Appreciate that, Goucher. Absolutely, Rolex. Got to get the commercial. You know what? I could have mentioned. Look down below. There's some brand new PDL gear, but no, I wouldn't stoop so low as to say there's a Patreon link down below or there's merchandise that you can buy or any of those things. So I'll just stick to the stickers for now. Touche. All right. This was probably. I know you guys are going to say sentimental kills. This next scene between Eugene and Rosita was my favorite. My absolute favorite. You guys might have had something different because I finally see Rosita is pale. Rosita is dying. In my mind, she's dying. But she misses Eugene. There's finally that connection between the two of them. Eugene does not recognize her voice at first, and she says, "No, dumbass, I'm looking for you." And then Eugene mentions something, everyone wants a slice of Eugene. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. And you guys can see, and I've always said this with the Negan scene with Carl, when the camera pans to Rosita and no one else is around, what did you guys read? This is an expert group of 999 Army. I want to get everybody's reactions. When you saw Rosita's face on the other end of that radio, what did you guys think? Give me your first response. Ben Stevenson says this segment is brought to you by the Nut Tap and the Double Nut Tap. We'll discuss that one later on. Everyone wants a slice of Eugene. So Mariah Campese says she misses him. Maybe there's a little bit of jealousy. You know what, Benjamin Stevenson, I agree. I think she loves him. I really do. I think that look, they already established their friendship vibe. But now that he's gone and he's moved on without her, I do think there's a little bit of Rosita that liked the chase, that liked that Eugene was always there and she had him as a fallback, right? Now that he's gone and he's moved and other people do want a slice of Eugene in a different way, she misses the fact that she's not the one getting that attention. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in an honest way. I mean, here's Rosita who gets attention from Siddiq, Father G, others, and now she doesn't have Eugene there. Very, very, I think it's important, and also see her health on the decline, that we may be running out of time to get those emotions out there. David Buzz, hello, Kills. I think Daryl and Carol let Negan out. I still think it's Aaron, David. Now, it could have been Carol, so Carol has a reason to go look for him. I'm not going to say that's a bad idea. I could buy into that. Carol let him out, kind of like, a fox chase. But one thing about it, David, is she did say, Daryl said early on, I don't see him wearing a mask, and she goes, I don't see him being quiet. So they both highlighted the things that Negan does not fit in, but she does have a reason to go look now, to get out, to get away from people. So fair enough. I certainly think it's in play. Appreciate that super chat as well. All right, couple things here. After that kind of look. Listen to what Rosita says. Are you coming back anytime soon? Eugene says, I haven't given it a timetable, but it is mighty good to hear your voice. Rosita says, me too. Everything okay? And Rosita tells him she's got to get back to bed. You want me to call you this afternoon. So, not, do you want to call me this afternoon? Do you want me to, I want to talk to you again. She wants to spend some time, some quality time discussing. See where it goes. For the first time, I felt like we've got a solid platform for their relationship. Yep, there you go. Tammy Heitzman going all, is that Cinderella? Don't know what you got till it's gone? Very true. And you know, in their case, Tammy, maybe you don't know what it is until it's not there to develop and to grow. But great scene. This was my favorite scene. I know I'm really, I like the Judas scenes. I'm really getting into the emotional side of it because it's not forced on us anymore. Like when everybody had a relationship with everybody, it was a little overbearing. Now when nobody has time for a relationship, it's like you find yourself looking for it. Like, what's going on with Daryl and Connie? What's going on with Eugene and Rosita? So, good stuff. I thought it was very interjected at the right time. Then we go back to Daryl and Carol. This is like Friendship Bracelet Part 2, where they're tossing acorns in the can. I think there's going to be some symbolism here. We get kind of that cute scene like Daryl hits the can. Nope, you can't just kiss the can. And Carol finds a double capper. What is the significance of the double capper that Daryl puts in his pocket? You guys think we're ever going to see that again? I think it had too big of a meaning for him to stick in his pocket and save it for luck. David Buzz says, fair point. Daryl and Carol won't care if Negan dies. No, not at all. But they do need that justification to go out and look, because people are going to say, what's going on? Could he be a threat? Could he lead them back here? Exactly. I mean, Negan's already said, and we don't think he'll follow through with this, like, I've been in prison for 8 years with your enemy. I can tell you everything. So there could be that underlying threat with everybody in Alexandria. Like, what if he what if he helps the Whisperers? Negan is probably one of the strongest people from Alexandria. Now you've just sent him over to your enemy that didn't need the help. Mariah says, I think it'll save his life. I hope it's not going to be one of those John Dory things in his pocket. So, no. Walking Dead would not borrow from Fear the Walking Dead, would they? Let's hope not. So, it does transition to the house hilltop. King sends his regards. And we get that uncomfortable Daryl and Carol conversation. Is Connie fine? I see things. No, it's not like that. Why not? She's a good one. And you don't have to be alone with your dog any longer. Very, very transitional type of scene to show there's more of a bond with Daryl and Connie. So now we've got the delineation. We've got Carol and King, probably that set in motion, whether they'll ever see each other or not. Daryl and Connie going in that direction. The writers once again showing these two are best friends. They need to pursue other relationships. But Carol does not take the bait for the King, does not do anything. So I certainly think that they're on the outs, and expect big things from Ezekiel next episode. I think once we get into 7, we're running out of time for him to make his move. Hopefully you guys, and we thought it might happen this week, but there's no King Ezekiel in this week's episode. But I would prepare, based on his current dire situation, the waning relationship with him and Carol, I think Ezekiel's got to make a big move. And then we finally get the Alpha intro. Alpha and Beta. Beta outright questioning. He says Negan can't be trusted. Alpha says test him. And if he passes, I'll hear him. If not, I'll kill him. Beta is pretty defiant here. It's a mistake. Alpha, you're questioning my judgment has become a regular occurrence. Beta says he's a threat, so gets another line in, and that's when Alpha says to him, is it finally time for the Beta to become the Alpha? He kneels, and Negan sees that. And that kind of sets off that whole chain of events. I do like one of the classic lines here. Negan kind of smiles. He's got his plan in motion when he sees what it takes to suck up to the Alpha. Great line here. How long you and Boss Lady been together? Is this kind of like Beta with benefits? All right, everybody. Hashtag Beta with benefits. I think one of our streams this week, we'll name it that. Really, really love this line. And Beta stops again and says, respect the Alpha, or I will end you where you stand. Beta still has some of that humanistic humor. And Negan finds a way to bring some of it out, but it's kind of like somebody telling you a joke right before they shoot you. That's what Beta is all about right now. Like, I still don't trust you. Oh, I'll make you laugh, but then watch what happens next. More on that in a minute. But Negan's comment right there about, hey, I think kneeling is good. I always had people kneel to me and get you where you're going. Now, personally, I've never done it. That sets the tone for badass Negan later on. Siddiq and Rosita. Rosita is looking, did you guys notice the intentional, how sick and pale Rosita is looking again? Last time I saw her look that way is when they found her in the woods with the Whispers and they took her back to Hilltop. So very, very concerned about Rosita and how much time she might have left. Couple that with the Siddiq story. Ben Stevenson. I love how they made it make sense why Beta didn't kill Negan on the way to Alpha, and then they also made it make a lot more sense than first reading the spoiler about the testing. I agree. Ben, I think of the things that we did try to cover and try to visualize as much on Thursday night, there were probably three scenes that probably hit home a little bit harder. One was the Siddiq scene and the bad dreams and the dire situation there. I think the other one was the Beta-Negan dynamic, how Beta can't really kill him. And then I think the most important one was probably Negan walking up with Lucille at the very end saying, where's my skin suit? That intro certainly establishes he looks like he could be the next Beta. And Beta feels that. Alpha did say to him at one point, are you worried about the Alpha or are you worried about the Beta? So she is using her wisdom to bounce back to Beta like, oh, you think he's going to do something to me or do you think that he's going to take over your position? And Beta is jealous. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the underlying theme here? That it looks as if Negan's trying to impress upon Beta, but Beta is showing off. More on that in just a second, because we get Eugene on the radio we saw Rosita, she's very pale. Siddiq takes her to the infirmary, and then we go back to Eugene, and Eugene is waiting for Rosita, never hears back from Rosita, and then he switches the channels. That's where he kind of gets the idea, you know what, if I can't talk to Rosita, I'm going to find somebody to talk to. We find out he is Taterbug. What do you guys feel about? You guys liking the Taterbug? All right. A couple more spoilers to get through, everybody. Carol and Daryl. Back to that scene. Daryl says, you want to cross the border, don't you? You sure you're not trying to get another shot at Alpha? So, hey, you want to get across the border. He's probably thinking she's got her gun. She wants to take that shot that she missed the first time. And Carol is this I think was a epic comment. Daryl says, if we mess this up, everyone else will pay. Classic line here. Carol, we keep paying no matter what side of the line we're on. Boom. Think about this for a minute. Carol finally gets the bigger picture. And at that moment, we finally got somebody wanting to exact some revenge, and it is outlined right there. Doesn't matter how far she moves the border, whether we're here, 10 feet here, whatever, we're going to continue to pay. So she knows Alpha is up to all this, even though everybody else is denying it. Great comment. We'll have a complete video this week probably on that. A couple more spoilers to get into, but I do want to give you guys a schedule for the rest of the week. Current illness should be passed over. So tomorrow night, we're going to be doing our reaction video after The Walking Dead. And then at 7:30, 9:30, every day next week, we're going to be doing double shots. So 7:30, we will have a topic related to this stream. There's some really good ones we're going to be able to break down. At 9:30, we'll do our recap. Same thing Tuesday night, Wednesday night, we'll be doing our bold predictions. This Wednesday, we're probably going to add the Walking Dead What If. We had a lot of fun with that last week. So I think we'll roll that out and come up with some different scenarios for you guys. Thursday night, we'll do spoilers. And, of course, Friday night next week, we're going to do our Freestyle Friday in a very fun Play Dead Live scenario. If you guys don't know what Play Dead Live is, it is our online role-playing game. We're going to do an advanced version of it next week. So it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully each and every one of you will be here. And, of course, Saturday morning, we'll be back doing our extended spoiler recaps. So just want to let you guys know what's going on for the rest of the week. We get to Carol and Daryl again. Carol has to leave. Biological exit. So Daryl goes through her purse. Carol comes back. You find what you're looking for. I know we talked about this on the spoiler. And then they have the conversation about bringing the gun, not bringing the gun. Daryl hits home, right? Finally, he's like, hey, let's do it. Might as well be us. So he feels he's 100% bought into her plan. And I think what she had said in the previous scene about it doesn't matter what line we're on, we're still going to suffer. Now Daryl's finally like, you know what? Two of us together, they can't stop us. So I really like that sense of energy. We go back to Negan. He's mocking the whole process. Do I get bathed and reborn in her whispery image? Beta's kind of like, just dig. We get a little bit of the music in the background. We find out about the digging, about the skinning, about the hunting. You know, he makes him kill a boar. We do get to see the small skin, big skin. We've talked about that. There's certainly some innuendos with that as far as trying to be the beta. They're both competing with that. Negan does a lot of work here and shows that he's a workhorse. All of that stuff he's been doing in Alexandria is starting to pay off. Then we have to fast forward back to the infirmary. Dante is in over his head. He's trying not to bother Siddiq. Siddiq's a little mad about not helping. And then he comes in, hey, start crushing some herbs. You know, we need some ginger, some mint for nausea. Dante's doing the best he can. But I think this does lend to the idea. I'm going to ask you guys again. I still don't feel like it. But there's a small group of people that think Dante could be a traitor and he might be responsible for poisoning them on a larger scale. What do you guys think? I'm going to give that a no. But I could see how people think that's the case. They're getting sicker and sicker. Dante is the one in charge. I just feel like Dante is trying to help. He's a little clueless, very confident in his abilities, but not shady. Fair enough. Just wanted to get everybody's kind of vibe for Dante at this moment. Works for me. I'm not buying it either. But I know it's been brought up, so, I did want to kind of tackle that as well. We go back to the Daryl Carroll scene. Border area with the Pikes. And then they say we're going to watch, learn, and leave. Daryl, once again, if we get split up, we're going to meet back here. Be safe. You already know they're going to be split up. They're going to have to meet back there. All of the above. As I said, I knocked a couple percentage points off of it for that. As part of the reason probably why I didn't give it a 10 is a little bit of over-communication. We go back to Negan and Beta. Negan doesn't get to eat. Beta's like, this is for the real Whispers. Negan, hey, I helped kill it. I helped kill and capture the damn pig. At the very least, I deserve a piece of bacon. Beta throws him down. We see Alpha watching in the background. Negan picks up on that. Sorry, boss. Negan goes and sits down with a Whisperer, and one of the Whisperers shares their food, and Beta sees it. Want to get your thoughts on that. We got David Buzz. Love PDL. Can't wait for Friday stream. Should be fun. And David Buzz, it is going to be River Rage. There's going to be a lot of unexpected occurrences happening on that river. So want you guys to be here for PDL. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to introduce some brand new abilities. So thank you for that. Appreciate that super chat. So that Whisperer gets killed. Beta will probably kill that Whisperer. It does seem... You know what? I did not pick up that was the Whisperer that he killed. But I will go back and watch it. Did you guys... Was it the one he stabbed? It would definitely be a great story. Okay. Perfect. If that's the one he killed, I appreciate it. That's exactly why we do these live, and that's exactly why we funnel it. So I want to thank Michael and Disc and a couple other people. Best part about doing these things live is we all pick up on these things. So that Whisperer that gave Negan the piece of bacon, when they're walking, if that's the one he stabbed in the neck, awesome. Great pickup on that one. So we will touch on that again in a second when we fast forward. So we get Eugene, Taterbug, once again, talking to what we feel like is going to be a person from Commonwealth. Could be Stephanie from Commonwealth. We haven't gotten full names yet. Eugene trying to go back and forth, right? I don't know what to say. It's very awkward. Eugene asks several questions like, where you at? How many people? She says, I'm not comfortable sharing. Not yet. Eugene shares he's from Dallas, Texas. Then later on we find out she's from Strasburg, Pennsylvania. We do get a age kind of check. So, the old, I guess, America Online or whatever the chat rooms, age, sex, location. We find out not Eugene's age, but in 1995, his parents purchased a ticket for him to go see some trains up in Strasburg, Pennsylvania. We find out there's an ice cream place up there, the Inside Scoop. So a little bit more of the history. And at the very end, we get Eugene. He has a very serious question. It'd be cake cone or waffle. So we don't know what is better, a cake cone or a waffle. Kind of a cute bonding scene as well. And, the one thing I like about Eugene is the bigger picture that's developing here, but it's all kind of encompassed in the awkwardness of Eugene. And we also find out that, the person he's talking to certainly has some guidelines, and she's creating that trust that, hey, maybe you can't trust me either, but Eugene is willing to go out on a ledge. More on that in a second. We got Daryl and Carol again. Daryl has to kill, surrounds himself, covers his body with the walker guts, covers his face. We hear the Whisperer in the background. Where are you? Whisperer voice. So kind of creepy Whisperer voice again. But they left evidence. They had to kill. They did all those things that they weren't there to do. So it's going to be a problem going forward. You guys feel like Alpha is going to check that border? I mean, how many times can they cross the border and try to get over on Alpha before we get some heads on pikes? Do you guys think this is the straw that broke the camel's back, that this scene is finally, they crossed over, they killed, there's going to be a blood trail there. They captured one. I don't want to give Alpha a green light. I don't want to sympathize with Alpha, but they certainly, Daryl and Carol, are making it harder and harder for Alpha just to turn the other cheek. So, Siddiq checks on Cheryl. Cheryl looks like she's about to go, but she did say, hey, how many people are lucky enough to pass away in a bed like this? Great point there. Rosita, sicker and sicker. Coco is restless. Siddiq sits down with Coco, falls asleep, and we hear open your eyes in Alpha's voice and Beta's voice, and then Siddiq at the top of the windmill. I want to get your thoughts on this. I've kind of got this kind of odometer, whether Siddiq is a traitor, Siddiq is not a traitor. And I would say, based on this, I'm feeling less and less like Siddiq killed Henry, and more as if he closed his eyes or he blacked out. His story is starting to make more sense in a weird sort of way, the more we see. So we hear, open your eyes, open your eyes. We did see him open his eyes and he saw the bloody machete. I'm not saying I'm giving up on the Siddiq traitor theory altogether, that she might have forced him to do something, and we could still have him hypnotized and find out more. But I will say that this scene felt like he was more innocent than guilty. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you guys think after watching this week's episode. It constantly changed. Ben Stevenson, turned whisperer hasn't shown up yet. Has not. So there are multiple clues out there that Alpha is going to find, Ben. Joyce says Siddiq seems troubled. Foreshadowing's comic death. Closed his eyes after he did the deed, tried to black out the memory. David, I think that's still in play. He had no choice and he did it. She made him do it. I still think it's possible, but I will say the last couple episodes, when he opened his eyes and saw the machete, and now he's sleepwalking and he's hearing the voices, I would say it lessened the possibility for me a little bit, but I still could see the story go either way. He could still have done it, or they might be setting a plot for him just to remember the last little bit and see exactly how it played out. All right, we got Negan and Beta on the way back. We're not jiving. You'll never be one of us. Too loud, too weak, too full of you. And then that's where, as a couple people pointed out, Negan says, I'm not here for you. I'm here for Alpha. Did you guys think that was a hidden strategy of Negan being completely honest? An interpretation, I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to kill Alpha. Did you think Negan would be that blunt that he's saying, I'm here to meet Alpha, to Beta, but in so many words, he's like, I'm not here for you, big man. I'm here for her. Thought it was very clever play on words. And then that's where Beta, Negan also says, you can throw me around. See, big man, I ain't going anywhere. Beta says, finally, something we can both agree on. You won't be going anywhere. Stabs the Whisperer in the neck. And then that brings a whole mess on Negan. And Negan says, did you just make a joke? I would have laughed if I wasn't so upset right now. So Negan is left for dead. Left for dead. Carol and Daryl meet up at the point, as we discussed. The captured Whisperer was at your plan all along. Carol had the little handcuff things. That's where we get the complete honesty. And Carol doesn't even tell him the truth at that point. She says, does it even matter? So Carol wanted to take one back, interrogate him a little bit. This is going to be a problem. Be careful what you take, because now you got to do something with them, and they left evidence. We get more Eugene and Stephanie, roller skate talk. Eugene would like to dip his toes in some real talk. What do you want to talk about, Eugene? But Stephanie says, you might be a threat. Eugene says, what if we share specifics? And what if I'm a threat to you? People are dangerous. And Eugene says, I'm aware, but I think you're good. My name is Eugene Porter. And then later on, we get a little bit more of, she says, hello, Eugene Porter. I'd like to talk to you very much, but keep it between us. She does say something, if I hear from anyone else, you won't hear from me again. I feel like that's going to be a story. Somebody's probably going to either get on that channel or someone's going to overhear Eugene talking, and then that's going to kind of put a stall tactic on Commonwealth until the Whisperer War is over. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then we get the final scene. This, I thought, was the most unpredictable part, even though we knew the spoilers. Beta and Alpha, I did not know that Beta had left him for dead by the spoilers. So to me, that was a little bit of a shock. Alpha says, I expected more. And then you get that look when you hear him from the background. Like you hear Negan making his intro. Alpha's like a little bit impressed. Beta's a little bit surprised. Negan, I'm ready for my skin suit. Bring extra long tape measure on account of my humongous balls. Hi, I'm Negan. We haven't formally met, but I sure as hell know who you are. Negan strolls in basically on that cloud nine. I'm confident. I just killed all those walkers. Nothing can hold me down. I think Alpha sees the value. Very, very good scene. But then I think the icing on the cake here, he says, whether my reputation precedes me or not, I'm all in, kneels down, whatever you want, whatever I got, it's yours. And when she says, shh, that is his full initiation, everybody. That means you're on board. We trust you. I don't expect Alpha to go back to Beta and say, hey, he's one of ours now. Keep an eye on him. I feel like he has a pretty free reins. What do you guys think? You guys think that Negan will get his mask, that he'll be official? Get your thoughts and comments in here. And with that, everybody, that is our full extended extra recap. I had a lot of fun watching this episode. So once again, if you guys tuned in late, I'm going to ask you guys, from a 1 to a 10, this week's episode, after we reviewed it, talked about it, give me your once and final score. We'll do this again tomorrow night, because you guys know tomorrow night during the reaction video, everybody shows up. So the people that watched the spoiler stream, the people that watched the premiere, the people that were in this video, and then tomorrow night, we're going to be watching it like a fourth time. So a lot of new people come in, they're experiencing it. It's the energy, it's the enthusiasm. We're going to pick up on some brand new things. Love the scores, everybody. I'm going to hold tight. I'm going to hold tight with my 9 right now. And I appreciate everything that's going on right now. Green Team, do me a favor. If you guys think Angela Kang is doing a wonderful job this season, then let's see the Angela Kang emoji. With that, everybody, I do want to give a special shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Our Freestyle Fridays, a lot of our streams are brought to you by the Patreon Army. And if you guys want to become a Patreon, you want more polls, more surveys, a little bit more behind-the-scenes content, there is a link down below. In the top right-hand corner is our PDL sponsors. They specifically bring our Play Dead live scenario to you guys on Friday nights. Amazing, amazing group of people. Thank you. Our Green Team, custom emojis. You guys can hit the join button if you want to join. Or give a special shout out to our moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kales. And the biggest thing I'd like to say to each and every one of you, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for getting your thoughts, your ideas, your super chats included in the stream. You guys are incredible. And thank you for being patient the last couple of days while I was going through a little bit of a cold, a little bit of an illness. But I am back in full effect and looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night after The Walking Dead. Join our reaction stream at 10:10. I'll see you all then. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. Peace.